Hello and welcome to CadoinkStudios. I have for you today another replay between two very good, very pro players. We have EmpireKas and mouzMaNa. So this is a game I saw actually live. It was a tournament game for... I can't remember what it was. It was some online tournament. It was like a Cred Cup or Giga Cup or Gigabyte Cup or something, but it was a game. It was the finals. I think it was the finals between EmpireKas and mouzMaNa, and so I watched this game live, and I do know the outcome of the tournament, which I will not give away. But they did play some very good games, and I believe this is the first of the games. So spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Tal'Darim Altar, we do have EmpireKas, the blue Terran, and in the top left, excuse me, we have mouzMaNa, the green Protoss player. Need to get my directions and races straight. So EmpireKas is one of my absolute favorite Terran players. I've been watching him stream quite a bit. He's a fantastic player, in my opinion. He's very good at those scenarios where you think that a player's absolutely screwed and he's able to just hold on by the skin of his teeth. And that, I think, is something that's very valuable in StarCraft 2. I've seen him come back from things that I did not think he would come back from. And so I've always thought he was a really good player. And I would like to see him start doing some major tournaments, you know, MLG, this sort of thing. But this hasn't been I don't think he's done too much. He does a lot of online tournaments, and he's really good at the online tournament thing. And he does a lot of streaming. So you should check out his stream. And Mana streams as well. And in fact, it was interesting because they were both streaming their games while this tournament was happening. And I was watching it from EmpireKas' point of view because I am a Terran player, and because I do enjoy Terran. So this is going to be a little bit of a longer game than the past few games I've been posting. We see normal things coming out of the player. I don't have to really say too much at this point. You know, we see Cybernetics Core, Double Gas, Fast Expand coming for EmpireKas, Barracks, No Gas, this sort of thing. But anyway, I wanted to talk a little bit about CadoinkStudios, a little bit about the channel. I wanted to give a few shout-outs. First of all, I'd like to thank my very, very good friend Kirk Barrett, who made the image that you'll see on the background of CadoinkStudios. If you go to our channel, our main channel, you can look in the background, you see this big, just gnarly looking planet, and it says CadoinkStudios in StarCraft 2. And I also have it as my thumbnail. And he just did an incredible job on it. I'm just absolutely tickled at how cool it looks, and how good of a job he did. And so he's going to be doing a lot of the design work for CadoinkStudios, because that's what he's going to college to do. He's going to be working in design. He's going to be doing design for all sorts of things. And he does have a website where he has kind of a portfolio where you can check out images he's done, Photoshop images, as well as painting images, because he's not only like a online graphic computer artist, he also does artwork, watercoloring, drawings, paintings, these sort of things, and he's incredibly good at it. And so I will link that in the description as soon as I have his permission. He just created the portfolio recently, and so he may want to do some things before he starts presenting it to people, so I will ask him for his permission to put that. But when it is done, you will get it. You will be able to see it, because he is a fantastic artist, and as you can tell by the piece of work he did for CadoinkStudios in the background. And he's going to be doing a lot more for us in the future. So big thanks to Kirk. And then I'd also like to thank my friend Seth, who is known as Omni in StarCraft 2 land. And he created an overlay for CadoinkStudios, and it's I've been doing some research. I got to try to figure out how to get it to work. Fraps won't record overlays, so I gotta put it in after the fact through video editing software, and I currently don't have a good video editing software. I'm using Windows Movie Maker because I don't really need to do that much of a fancy edit. I just kind of got to piece together the pieces of fraps. And then when the time comes for me to do video editing, I know what software I want to buy. But he created a really cool overlay, and I'm going to start using it once I figure out how to get it on there. So a huge shout out and thanks to Seth/Omni for doing that. So yeah, thanks guys, thanks Kirk, thanks Seth. A lot of S noises there. Yeah, fantastic artwork. I absolutely love it, and it's going to make everything a little bit better. CadoinkStudios is not about just one thing. It's about a lot of things, and including art and games and just having fun, and you know. So yeah, I'm really pleased at how things are going along. So we are here at the 8-minute mark in this game. I haven't been talking too much about what's going on, but nothing too exciting has happened. There hasn't been any big engagements. We do see EmpireKas took a very fast expansion and is getting these bunkers up as well as these supply depots to wall off and kind of protect his base. In the meantime, he's gotten his third up, which he is using just to make SCVs and cast mules, which is something I've seen him do a lot in the ladder pool. And I think it's pretty cool. He has his expansion ready, but he doesn't take it until he needs it. So that's really neat. And then he's also getting his factory up, finally. He does have 3 barracks, 2 with tech labs, and 1 with the reactor, and I'll be interested to see what he does. It looks like he might be going for, I'd say double medevac. Do see an observer coming out for mana. But pretty normal things. Huge Marine Marauder kind of ball with medevac support, maybe Vikings if necessary, because we do see Colossi are coming out for mana at this time, as well as 6 gates, excuse me. So Mana's going to be going for a heavy gate play. Mana got his expansion up relatively quickly. And for those of you who don't know, Mouz is a team that Mana is on, and Empire is a team that Kaz is on. There's another Empire player who streams a lot, Empire Beastie Cutie, who's really good. It's also a Terran player. So yes, these are both teams. We do see a heavy sentry force for Mana at this time. Do some walling off with force fields, which is really nice. I also like his movement around the map, keeping a sentry here, moving a probe out, and then keeping a stalker here to make sure he can kind of spot what's going on. And we do see at this time EmpireKas is moving out with his force of Marines and Marauders. I think he'll be going to the Watchtower, and then he might move on to attack, or he may just use this time to take his expansion, which he is working on his third. We do see the second he started moving out, this observer saw it, and Mana prepared by getting his forces together. He does have 1 Colossi and quite a bit of sentries. Mana seems to love the sentry play, favoring more sentries than either Zealots or Stalkers, even Zealots and Stalkers combined. And this is probably due to the large amount of Marauders. We do see a pylon going down right here for Mana. It'll allow them to warp in units here on this low ground, and they'll be able to run up and do some harassments here, especially since EmpireKas has been so active at keeping these watchtowers. It's a good way to kind of sneak around. To see the factory scout floating around, as well as Mana's EmpireKas' army going to this watchtower. So he does have vision of nearly the whole map, and we do see a drop on the way for Kaz. This is something that Kaz is extremely good at. I see it all the time on a stream, but at the same time, Mana's moving out with a huge number of units. I mean, a lot bigger than EmpireKas. He does have 2 Colossi, and the Colossi are going to do a lot of damage, and you see EmpireKas is going to have to run away from that, knowing it's not going to be doing enough. And we do see a drop in his natural at the same time as he's attacking this third, and he is going to be able to pick off these Zealots, and as well as many of these probes. And Mana's army is kind of just caught behind, and Kaz is swinging around doing damage to 2 of the 3 bases. Oh, and look at this, there's a Colossi out of position for Mana. EmpireKas may lose his army, but he will be able to pick off this Colossi, and the Colossi does go down, and if we look at the units lost tab, it's favoring Mana, but it's still pretty even, and losing Colossi is pivotal, because not only did you lose those resources, but you lost the time it took to make that Colossi. So he will be 1 shorter whenever the next engagement is, plus all the time that Mana wasn't mining. He doesn't have this saturated, and he doesn't have this saturated either, while EmpireKas has this base saturated as well as this base. We do see that this little hero factory is going to go down in the end, doing its little scouting job for EmpireKas, and Mana is then going to move out and try to be very active at taking and keeping these watchtowers, which is very good, as he will have pretty good control of EmpireKas, especially with this pylon here. If Kaz sends a scout up, either of these pylons will be able to spot it. They'll have to send it around the other way. I like this SCV here, making sure they're scouting the ramp, since he doesn't have control over the watchtower. And we do see that Mana is moving up to try to do an attack, but he senses Observer, and he does see that he does have some Vikings out, but he thinks he can do it. Thinks he can maybe pick off this supply depot, but 2 more Vikings come out, and they are going to be able to do a little bit of damage to the Colossi, taking down their health as well as their shields, as well as a bit of their health, which is not good because Protoss cannot regain that, so he is going to retreat for the time being, seeing that those Vikings are popping out. In the meantime, EmpireKas is working on getting his ghosts up to do some EMPs. He's also getting quite a bit of Vikings pumping out 3 at a time with these 2 starports. But man, look at this map control by Mana. See a probe out on this left side. He has this watchtower here, as well as this probe and these 2 pylons, and of course the observer. So very nice by Mana, keeping control of the map. He's very good at this sort of thing. And EmpireKas is salvaging the bunkers, making me think that he might be going for an attack sometime soon, sometime in the near future. And yes, he is moving out indeed. He's going to be very active about moving these Vikings around, making sure he tries to catch these 2 Colossi off guard and see if he can pick them off before they do enough damage to these Marines and Marauders. We do see quite a bit of Marauders for EmpireKas, and it looks like they are going to be meeting up at this watchtower. Most likely there is a pylon here, and we do see that the his medevacs get a little bit out of position. We do see 2-1 upgrades for EmpireKas, while 2-2 for Mana. So Mana does have the upgrade advantage. So he is going to be moving forward and trying to pick off these Colossi with the Vikings as well as the army coming in, but very nice force fields by Mana, picking off all the front Marines and Marauders. He does have quite a bit of Ghosts though, and there are no Templar out for Mana, so he does get some really good EMPs off and takes down all the Colossi with the Vikings, and now Mana is left with a very small force, and this is looking very bad for Mana, as the food is 185 to 113. That's a pretty big discrepancy. If we look in the units tab, he has 10 less drones as well. So not a huge army discrepancy, but still pretty big, pretty crucial. But there are 2 more Colossi that are out, and he is moving his Vikings around, seeing if he can pick them off, seeing if he can catch them out of position. And sure enough, he's going to move forward and get a few hits off right before the army comes, and they're going to be able to take out 1 of Colossi as well as the second. And this is a huge number of Marauders as well as Ghosts. Wow, 5 Ghosts doing a lot of EMPs, and he's effectively shutting down Mana's 3rd base. And this is going to be very crippling for Mana's down to 2 base, while EmpireKas is getting his 4th up at this time, putting down a lot of mules as well as making it a planetary fortress. And sure enough, the Nexus does go down, so that's a heavy loss for Mana. I don't see what Mana is going to be able to do in the way of this. He does have a good force. He is finally getting those High Templar, so he can get those storms off, which is quite a pain in the butt for Terran players. I like this moving back, but they're going to run into each other. They're going to get some good shots on this Viking, taking out 3 of them right now, maybe even going to be able to pick off a 4th, but these Marauders kind of come in and save the rest of them. Very nice by Mana, catching those Vikings out of position. And here comes the army coming up the ramp. I don't know if EmpireKas will engage. He is engaging, and now he's pulling back. Might not have any EMPs left. And he is rendezvousing with the rest of his forces at this time. Keeping control of the center map. This is very nice. He's also long distance mining this base, going to be building or moving a command center there. Excuse me, it wasn't an orbital. Yes, it is moving, and he's building 2 more, probably to get extra mules as well as maybe some defense by making one of them planetary. We do see in the production tab 5 command centers, which is really funny. And he does have quite a bit of barracks, and he is moving forward, trying to make sure he has control of this watchtower. And he's also almost finished with the level 3 armor for his ground units, as well as getting the level 2 for his air. So he's going to have very nice upgrades. And but Mana's been on top of the ball as far as that's concerned. He is at 3-3, while EmpireKas is at 3-2. Not going to be finishing 3-3 for a while now. And we do see that Mana is trying to take his 3rd back just at the time where EmpireKas is pushing. He's moving his Ghost forward and cloaking him. He's going to see if he can get... he does do a very nice snipe on that High Templar, and he's going to be trying to pick off some of this army. He's going to be able to shoot down 1, if not 2 of these Colossi, but the Vikings do go down. He is going to cast some EMPs most likely. And once again, man, EmpireKas has effectively shut down mouzMaNa's third. And so this is very bad, as Mana is only mining on really one base. If you look at his main, it's not very much. He's moving down. They are going to have an engagement here. Stalker's going to be able to shoot some of these guys before the Marines and Marauders shoot back, and we do see a direct engagement at this time. Very nice concave by both players, trying to spread out their units as much as possible. And we see the two Colossi are doing a lot of damage, but there are just so many Marauders, and sure enough, all the Stalkers go down, and there's the GG by mouzMaNa. Wow, that was a good game by EmpireKas, being very aggressive towards the Protoss player. That's something I like to see, as it is very tough to play Protoss. I have a lot of trouble with it. But EmpireKas did very well, and that was a very good game. This was the first game, so does not mean he won the rest of the games. If you guys would like to see the rest of them, just comment below and tell me. I can download the rest of the games and I can cast the rest of them for you guys. But I really enjoy EmpireKas play, and Mana is very good himself as well. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, and there will be more to come, so we'll see you guys later. Thanks.